Hi friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 47 of Bookish Bliss. We have a lot to discuss today.
Oh boy, do we have a lot to discuss today. This week we are covering chapters 59 to 66 of Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. There will be spoilers as we are discussing the entire book.
Woo! Last section of Iron Flame.
So you do have to read the whole book to listen. Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking LaCroix because it's
Nice.
New Year's Eve, and I can't have drinks 2 nights in a row. I'm too old.
Yes.
What are you drinking, darling?
I'm drinking my Diet Coke. I literally have been on a bender since Christmas Eve. I have had a drink every single night and drunk
Wow.
multiple times. So I need to cool it. I probably should be drinking out of my Stanley tonight, but
I was gonna say we need to hydrate tonight, but Diet Coke ain't gonna hydrate you.
I have been so exhausted. My body is like, bitch, you are 34 years old. You cannot be drinking. When was Christmas? Wednesday? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Vacation, bitch. That's what
I've
it's
been
all
on
about.
I've been on vacation, so today I could not move from bed. I did not rise until like I had to eat dinner before we recorded this.
Wow. I
Yeah.
had work today, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's okay, 'cause I
so
only have a half day tomorrow.
I need the caffeine. So cheers to, I can't believe this,
I
the
know.
last chapter episodes of Iron Flame and episode 47 of Bookish Bliss.
Yay,
Cheers!
cheers! End
How
of
many-
book 7 for us.
Book 7. How many times do you think I'm going to cry tonight?
Probably at least once when Sawyer's leg comes off.
Stop.
At least one when the battle starts.
Yes.
Who else dies or gets injured? Oh, when the mom dies, I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
cry. I'm gonna guess 4 tops because I'm sure there's something else in there that I'm missing. And if I'm right, you have to take a shot on camera next for final thoughts.
Okay. Also, how many times do you think I'm going to get extremely irrationally angry during this episode?
Well, guys, just so you know, Megan hates Violet as of rereading the end of this book. So we're going to hear it today.
It's like I had no issues with her during Fourth Wing. I really didn't. I thought, wow, what a strong, smart, independent female main character.
Yeah.
And then like she fell in love and I think she just became a dum-dum. And
Most people do when they fall in love.
and I get that. Like, Xaden is very infatuating. He's mysterious. He's sexy.
He's
but like
morally gray.
But like her decisions are so stupid with the dumb fights with Xaden. Even though he was dumb in that too, don't get me wrong. He also is a culprit in that, and I also can't stand him. But like with the best friend stuff, like keeping secrets, and then the ending of this book, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
All right, well, let's get started with the good stuff and break down Iron Flame Part 8 so we can hear all about your hatred for Violet. Take it away, Megan.
Chapter 59. Our gang is in flight, or they are going to be flying back to Navarre to Biscayeth to fight the Venin because they know for sure, or Violet just knows in her heart, see, she's being a smarty here, that is where the true battle will be, is at Biscayeth. And the Assembly, they're not on page, so fuck them. We're gonna fly off because we're the best.
That's right.
Chapter 59.
The epigraph for chapter 59 is, "We do not eat our allies." And this is from Taryn's personal addendum to the Book of Brennan, as quoted by Cadet Violet Sorrengail.
Taryn's like, I get to change school rules. He's like, well, I never tried. Now he gets a personal addendum in books.
Yeah.
He's just a star.
Pretty soon he's going to have a whole book about him.
He is like top tier character in this book.
He is. The flight to Navarre is 18 hours long. And as of this chapter, the flyers are staying in Arisha since they would be defenseless under the wards. and unable to wield, and the assembly won't budge and won't ride with them to defend Navarre in the Vale.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
It does appear, though, that Professor Devaro will be coming with them. She is settling up her dragon to make the flight back to Biscayeth.
Love that.
Marin, though, gives Violet a small crossbow and a quiver for her pack. It's full of Mayorite arrowheads, imbued and runed to explode on impact. So she tells Violet, do not drop this.
Oh, I love that. She's like, I can't fight, but please
Well,
use this to save you.
Well, they were buddied up on when they were climbing up
I
that the
know.
cliffs of Drailer. Then they became study buddies
Yeah.
together. So I'm sure they've bonded over the last couple of months, and she just wants Violet to be prepared for everything.
Aw.
And
Well, she
unlike,
does use them quite a
yeah,
lot, the crossbow, so.
it did come in handy in that final battle. And she was not like our other main character, favorite Archeron. She did not drop the arrowheads.
That's right.
This favor would have.
Literally. So Indarna has orders to detach and to fly to the Vale. An adolescent black dragon obviously is going to raise some human suspicion at Biscaya since they haven't seen her since her golden days.
That is true.
And Violet, of course, doubled down and says to stay with the Feathertail since they will need her protection if the wards do fall.
Mm-hmm.
She is to report the second anything feels off, but her response does not sound like she intends on listening.
No, and Darna does not listen to anyone.
No, she says, like, I'll be where I'm needed or something.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yes.
fuck off. I'll be wherever I want.
She's like, listen, because of me, you're still alive.
Yeah.
Literally. So, shush.
Who do you think is boss here? It's me.
Yeah, it's not you. Brennan again tries to stop them from going. The assembly thinks that Violet and Xaden are wrong. Brennan thinks that they are going to get untrained cadets killed. We learn they are not bringing the first years, such as Auric and Sloane, and they are not happy about this. Sloane is like, I can wield! Xaden's like, yeah, I don't care.
She's also a siphon. What is a siphon going to do?
Right, yeah.
In the battle.
You're still untrained in combat. You haven't even finished your first year.
Yeah.
Like, you've never gone through what they've gone through, like squad games and war games
yeah.
and
no.
all that.
No.
She hasn't even done land nav. Okay,
For
that
real.
was super important.
Oh my god. Or the interrogation. Little noob.
Little noob. Xaden tells Brennan, we don't have time for bickering. If you're choosing you're not coming, then that's on you, Brennan. If they don't leave now, there's a chance that they won't save Biscaya.
Wild. He's gonna just let his sisters go again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Him.
I don't know why at this point why we aren't trusting Violet. Overall, like 97% of the time, she makes good decisions and she is correct. So I don't know why we're just like, yeah, Violet's wrong.
I know.
Whatever. Xaden tries to tell Rhee that he is taking Violet with him, but she respectfully tells Xaden that their squad will remain intact. But he is more than welcome to join them.
I love that too. She's like, no. I don't know what you think you're doing. My squad stays together.
She's like, I'll gladly take your powers into my squad, but this is my squad and we stay intact.
Yeah, I love it.
I know. And Violet doubles down on this with Mira as well and invites her to join, but she's adamant that she stays with her squad. So Violet is also like, nope, we said we'd stay together. We're staying together. They are very loyal to each other. And I love that has not changed at all throughout this book.
I know. It will never change.
Never change. About 18 hours later, Violet is touching down in the courtyards, and Darna has been sent to the Vale, and the Empyrean has been alerted that they are back, and they're not happy that they have arrived.
No.
Terrence says that they're pretty displeased to see that they're here.
I know. I wonder why. Because they're not at Samara, maybe?
Yeah, maybe they just think, like, why are you here? The battle's supposed to be at Samara,
yeah. So I thought this was interesting, though. In this chapter, we learn of another mated pair of dragons. Grem and Maze. Grem is here at Biscayeth, but her mate is out at Samara, who will contact Coda to tell them all what the hell is going on, because everyone still thinks the attack is going to be at Samara besides Violet.
Yeah.
They've been mated for decades so they can communicate over long distances. And Megan, we had a little chit chat about this.
We did have a chit chat about this. After we really ran through this, we
Yeah.
decided that because they said Taryn and Sigil are the strongest mated pair in centuries, that they are just, in fact, just very strong
Strong dragons
dragons
individually who
being
paired.
paired together,
Yeah.
whereas they have not been mated as long as these two.
Yeah.
And because I think Taryn says they have years before that they'll be able to do
Yeah,
this.
because we were saying, like, if they're the strongest in centuries, how come they can't talk long distances? So we
Right.
we put it down to that they have not been mated for decades yet, and these two have.
Right. General Sorrengail comes down the steps to meet with Violet, Zayden, and Mira, and is accompanied by Nolan. General Sorrengail tells them it is not possible for someone to take down the wards, that they are heavily guarded 24/7. But Zayden wants to check for himself, and after some banter, General Sorrengail agrees for them to inspect the wards.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing!
Man, no way in hell no one can take down the wards.
Yeah.
General Sorrengail, you dum-dum.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to check.
We're going to check.
Garrick's dragon is worried. Taryn
Mhm.
reminds Violet that he is sensitive to the runes, and Violet's like, hello, Basquiat is built on them. And Taryn's like, nah, this is different. He senses the same energy as in Resin.
Yeah, it's kind of good to have Garrick's dragon around because he
know.
is so sensitive to this that, again, we need to be trusting what we've known has happened in the past. We know that he's sensitive to these runes and that something bad happened at Resin, so clearly something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how she doesn't put it together here that there's a lure.
Yeah.
If she knows the battle is going to be at Basquiat.
Yeah.
But anyways, the wardstone is hidden through a secret passage that General Sorrengail has to open by pushing a stone in the wall to reveal the small tunnel. They go through the tunnel and reach the chamber where the wardstone is. Violet feels the hum of energy, and it is 10 times stronger than the wardstone in Orisha. And the guards that are guarding 24/7, yeah, they're lying in a pool of blood, dead.
Whoa.
She's
Who
like,
saw that coming?
Oh.
We did.
Us,
Raise your hand.
us.
So we already knew something was clearly wrong with the wordstone at Orisha, but this is just like the final nail in the coffin that this is definitely wrong.
Yeah, for sure. The wardstone is doubled in size and looks different. The rings and runes carved are interrupted by a diamond pattern, and the stone is on fire by black flames.
I wonder why this one is double in size.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know Orisha's wasn't right because it was not actually on fire like this one is.
Yeah.
But I wonder, is this like a bigger wardstone to go farther? That's why it's like double in size?
Maybe.
I would like to know some more about wardstones in the next book.
And the diamond pattern is different too, because that was not on the Orishan wardstone either. It was just the circles or the rings.
Yeah.
So I wonder what that diamond pattern even means. Or does that just mean all 7 dragons breathed on it? So that will show up when the flame comes or something.
Oh, maybe. Or maybe they were just getting fancy when they created some.
Yeah. I don't know if they like specifically carved it like that for a reason or if it's just for show. Some hieroglyphics from the old people.
Yeah, they never really explain why it's different between Orisha, like with the diamond pattern. They just say it's different.
Yeah. An orange scorpion tail almost takes Violet out, and she notices that it's fucking Bade, and Bade's eyes are opaque instead of golden.
So clearly there's something going on with Bade.
That's interesting too, because that will be a way for anybody else to see if any of their other riders have been pulling from the source or from the earth.
Yeah, or I think Jack ends up saying he overrided the bond to where he's like in charge. So whatever Jack did to Bade is probably why he has opaque eyes instead of golden.
Yeah, because they could die without their rider. So if he cuts the bond, she probably could have died.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So General Sorrengail attacks, but is swept aside by Bade. Literally into the wall.
Jeez.
Jack tells Violet that she is just on time and he is here to do what he promised he would do. Fucking Jack Barlow.
Fucking Jack Barlow,
The
man.
bane of our existence is back, being
Comes
the
back from
bad
the dead.
guy we know he really is.
Literally comes back from the dead and fucks shit up.
Mhm.
God damn it. So Bade breathes fire at them, but Riddick throws up a wall of ice to counteract the blow.
Riddick's hands end up all blistered and bleeding, but they are all still alive.
Thank God.
Bade is on her hind legs and grabbing onto the stone. Jack is at Bade's neck and with the blade pushes it all the way through the front of Bade's throat.
No, Bade.
I mean, Bade is a crazy orange dragon, but I don't think Bade deserved this. This is
No.
fucking horrible.
No. I don't think she deserved this either. No dragon does.
Unless like you're in active battle, like obviously we were with Solus where we're fighting for our lives, but literally Bade was just sacrificed for the good of the Venom. So
Do you think she allowed the sacrifice?
she tried to kill the group coming in to stop it, but I think it's because Jack was now controlling her.
I was gonna say, because she can't fucking blast him with fire because Venom don't die from dragon flames anymore, right?
Right, yeah.
Wow.
But
Maybe
yeah,
she had no choice.
well, yeah, I think like Jack goes on to boast about this later.
True,
about
that he's the one in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So Jack throws out a shield that blocks Xaden's shadows, and the black flame extinguishes an instant before Bade collapses on the stone. Wards.
Yeah. Violet flicks a dagger at Jack, and Jack fumbles with the ward stone and it comes crashing down. So not only is the fire extinguished, the ward stone is now crashing down to the ground.
Yep. And the humming stops, which means the wards have fallen.
Dang.
Dun dun dun! Let our battle begin. Almost. Not yet.
Oh, kind of. Moving on to chapter 60, we're going to find out what the fuck Jack just did, how much time we have until the Wyvern and the Venom arrive, and what is the game plan here, because this is getting fucking scary now that the wards have actually fallen.
Yeah. Basgiath has not been without wards for 600 years. They don't know what the fuck to do.
Insane. And they don't know how to fight Venom because they were never been properly trained.
Literally. The epigraph for chapter 60 is, at its core, magic demands balance. Whatever you take will be recouped, and it is not the wielder who determines the price. And this is from Magic, a universal study for writers by Colonel Emazine Ruthorn. These names I'm probably butchering today, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? So Bade is dead, yet Jack lives.
Yeah, I know. I think they're like, you only have minutes to live, buddy. And he's like, ho, 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 with his evil laugh.
His evil villain laugh.
Yeah.
He believes he is the inferior species, and he replaced the energy that Bade bonded with him. So he has fucked shit up.
Yeah.
Nolan is screaming that Jack is better than this and that he can choose. Xaden can see Nolan's intentions clear as day now that he is so weak. Nolan has been trying to mend Jack's soul for months because Jack turned Venom, which he somehow managed to do within the wards.
Wild.
That's scary to think about.
I know. I was expecting him to be a bad guy, but not this soon.
Well, and I also didn't expect him to turn Venom within the wards of Navarre.
Yeah, that's like totally new information
to
this point.
We're led to believe that they are safe within these wards. This is why this is secret. This is why we don't let anyone in. Is because the Venom and the Wyvern can't get in. But clearly
they can.
The Venom are already here within the wards. So how many are there already?
Oh, that's going to be nuts for the next book.
And did leadership know that this could happen? Because that's not really
Probably
answered.
not. They don't know anything about the fucking Venom because they just forget they exist.
Well, someone had to know that Jack Barlow is Venom for Nolan to be using his resources, mending his soul for a month. So clearly,
that's true.
They know now. If they didn't before, they know that the Venom can live within the wards because of Jack.
That's true. They definitely knew that he was.
And they were just letting him go to fucking class and be on guard duty.
Do you think Varys told them? Because Varys was the one with Nolan all the time.
True, but Nolan is like, this secret needs to be kept intact, and that's why he goes against Violet at the end of the day, we really don't think he's going to tell higher up leadership like what he's really doing with Jack Barlow. Like,
Yeah.
are we really supposed to think that General Sorrengail had no idea who Jack really was?
Did they know Jack was alive, though?
I mean, how does General Sorrengail not know there's another cadet back from the dead in her quadrant?
I don't know. I mean, she didn't know they were fucking sent to Resin. She doesn't know a lot of shit.
This is true. It's just so wild that even after Varsh is dead, that Nolan continues healing Jack in his soul, and nobody has caught on to this.
Yeah, I know.
Wild.
It is wild. So Violet thinks he turned before the challenge against her when he was forcing power into her body, which I think is interesting because we think of Venom as pulling from the earth, but now we're hearing, okay, if he did change or turn Venom before the challenge and he can force power in, that's another power that they have.
Yeah, because no one had seen this power that Jack was using before when
Yeah.
he was fighting Violet in the challenge that day, though it's never really brought up again after that.
No, they just assume like maybe he already has a signet and she doesn't or something.
Yeah, but they don't know what kind of power that was, but no one seems to question it.
Yeah. Weird.
Interesting.
So obviously the wards do not block all the power like the dragons want them to think, and Jack is now telling them this. They can still feed from the ground and channel enough to survive under the wards. They may not be at full strength under the wards, but they are among them. They are coming too with a horde of green fire breathing dragons, and they are just faster in general.
Yeah, insane.
Crazy. So we know there can't be any generals or maybe even sages because it says you can't be at full strength. Or does that mean they physically can be there, but they don't have the full strength of their capabilities? Or the stronger you are, you can't go under the wards?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that anybody could probably be there, but they're just not at their full strength of capacity.
Yeah, I kind of see that too because of the fact that the griffins can be under and not have any powers.
And obviously someone has been feeding Jack information that has to be higher up. Like he's getting his instructions from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all it was Varish when he was alive.
You think Varsh was Venom?
I do. If we can find out that people are under the wards and Violet kills him with one of those special daggers.
Oh shit, that she does end up killing him with the dagger.
Yeah.
Like that.
So he could have been Venom and just died because he was stabbed with that dagger.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my brain is like exploding right now.
I do think Varish was Venom. But that begs the question, is Dane Atos' dad also? Because weren't they in cahoots?
Yeah, secrets die with the people who keep them. Maybe that's like a Venom
mantra.
like mantra.
That would be wild if eventually a Venom says that.
Yeah, we just haven't heard it fucking said except the last infantry that tried to kill Violet.
Yeah. That would be fucking wild.
My brain is exploding right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it had to be someone, like, and there had to have been a reason, like, he was shipped off of the front lines. Like, he was probably doing some shady ass shit because he's Venom.
Yeah. Wild.
But it's also crazy that they keep their dragon. Well, I guess he was still bonded to Solus. So
True.
that's why he still had his signet.
Yeah.
Anyways, before my brain implodes,
Well, I think
keep
he
going.
was just keeping her around until he was strong enough to snap the bond.
Mm.
Because he had to have been stronger than her to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Violet knows that they have to cut Jack off from his power, and she thinks of the serum. This must be why it was developed.
Light bulb.
But, like, again, how does General Sorrengail not know? Because she knows about the serum.
Yeah.
Because she gave Violet the antidote.
That's true. That's true. The serum brings in a whole other perspective.
Yeah.
That I forgot about until just now.
Like, they have to know about Jack. Unless they just spun some bullshit to her, like, we're trying out new tactics to make the writers stronger, so there's this serum. Like, they could have spun it to her in a different way, because they were bullshitting to her when Violet was, like, held captive. They weren't telling her either. So
why didn't she fucking say anything before she died? She's literally there with them. Tell us if you knew, General Sorrengail. Why'd you have to die before you told us?
Now we'll never know.
Now we'll never fucking know.
Jack reaches for the wall and is draining power from it. Then from Dane, because Dane is trying to get memories from Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Until Xaden knocks Jack out. But literally, Violet's like, hello, he's killing Dane. And Xaden's like, well, wait a second. Let's see what he can get first.
Yeah. He's like, he's busy.
Yeah.
His intentions are in the right spot. We're gonna let him go.
Dane is left with gray handprints that feel like ice burns. Nolan pours the serum into Jack's mouth as soon as he is unconscious. So now Jack's not going to be draining shit from anyone for right
No.
now.
No. I wonder if Jack, like, tricked them and was like, "Oh, I pulled from the source, but I don't wanna be a venom. Please help me," and that's why they took him in.
Oh, maybe. But who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why Jack didn't fucking die, is because he's Venom. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if a fucking cliff fell on him, right?
You think he was venom before that?
Well, yeah, because we're saying that he was Venom before the challenge with Violet, so when the mountain fell on him, he would have been Venom.
That's true. That's why he didn't die.
That's why he didn't die.
He was venom the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He was venom ever since Taryn fucking Bonnet's Violet. Because doesn't he say, he's like, I knew I needed to be like the inferior species once the biggest, baddest dragon chose fucking weakling Violet?
Yeah, so I think, like, he pulled from the source, like, after that happened because he was pissed.
Yeah.
I think Jack became Venom after threshing. So when he lost his status, when he had to sit alone at the cafeteria because his dragon was small compared to other people that bonded during threshing. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
when he
he
took.
thought, I am better than this, I
Yeah.
am inferior than this, and I need more power. And that's when he pulled from the source and became Venom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree 100%.
Yeah, so that's why Jack didn't die when the mountain collapsed on him because he's Venom.
Yeah. But I think he fooled them just to get back to Biscayeth.
I definitely think he told them, like, I didn't mean to do it. Like, please help me. And so Nolan was trying to mend his soul, and that's
Yeah.
why he was in there for so long. Because I have to imagine, like, a whole mountain falling on you has to do some sort of damage. Like, it probably, obviously, it didn't kill him. And then they
No.
developed the serum, and that's why they kept him hidden until the serum was developed. And then they put the serum in him so he could go walking around campus acting like he was just a normal cadet in the
Yeah.
quadrant.
There is that epigraph though too, and I don't know if it's in this section or the last one. I think it is in this section. I think it's the VIII chapter, one of the last ones that says you can't cure venom, you can only control it. So do
Yeah.
you think they had that serum already and we're just gonna experiment on Jack?
I think that they have been doing experiments for a long ass
Yeah,
time.
they are trying to control it somehow. So
Like, I think way before Jack, because just
yeah,
talking about that epigraph, it says the correspondence is from Lieutenant Colonel Nolan, but he's not a lieutenant colonel anymore. He's just colonel.
yeah. So he's had
So
that serum for a while, and I
or
bet
he's
you
or he's been experimenting for a while.
there are only 119 cadets there, plus 10 leadership, and Dane says he saw the Venom's memories, and it's just not enough. They are faster than dragons, and they have 10 hours until they are all dead, basically. They feel hopeless at this point.
Dane's like, not to be the party pooper that I am, but we're gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, I saw it.
Yeah. So a half hour later, they have gathered everyone at Biscayeth for a battle brief.
Melgreen and his forces won't arrive until after the Wyvern, and there is a second wave of Wyvern headed their way as well. So now there are 1,000 fucking Wyvern on their way, and they didn't even bother to stop at Samara. So they were thinking, oh, maybe we'll have time if they like stop to attack there. Nope, they drove right by.
Yeah, they said, oh, no pee break for us. We're gonna
Yeah.
keep going.
Dane reads Jack's memories and knows he planted lures all over the college and up the path to the Vale. So they know exactly where to go, these Venom. And this is what Garrick's dragon is fucking sensing the whole time.
Yep.
So destroying the lures is their best chance of buying time, they think. And infantry will spend the next few hours locating them all.
Yes.
And they're all going to be working within their squads tonight.
Mm-hmm. Devar reminds them that Wyvern are the distraction and the weapon. If you take down the Dark Wielder, you kill the Wyvern they created. So this is important information for, obviously the group that was at Orisha knows this, but this is for the Navarian cadets that decided to stay. And there's a big divide in the room from the Orisha cadets and the Navarian cadets. She also reminds them not to take on a Dark Wielder alone. Rely on each other and your signets, just like squad battle, except this is real combat, like Rihanna likes to say.
Yeah. She's like, this is not a game.
General Sorrengail gives a speech to the group that they are gifted riders among them, but they are outnumbered, but they have the gods with them. Whether they left after threshing or stayed, they are all Navarian riders who will defend dragonkind in their darkest hour. Darkest hour, longest night, deja vu much? General Sorrengail starts assigning the strongest riders to each of the wings. She places Mira first with Violet, and Xaden is not happy about this. Mira says as much as she would like to be Violet's shield, she should be with General Sorrengail since she can shield without the wards now, and Xaden and Violet's signet complement each other. Mira's like, I know where I need to be,
Yeah.
and it's not next to Violet. I need to be right behind my mother as like a second source behind her, blocking these fucking wyvern out.
Yeah. So they divided Biscayeth, the Vale, and the surrounding areas into sectors. Each squad will be assigned to a sector in the air, while infantry is on the ground. They should avoid leaving their sectors at all costs to stay organized and for their plan to work.
Mm-hmm.
Violet also thinks there should be a squad assigned to the ward stone. They don't know what power remains at the stone, and it was placed in that exact location because it was over the strongest natural flow of power, according to Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, her mother disagrees and shuts down her idea. For now.
For now.
They were ordered to go get some rest for a few hours, so they are at full energy for battle. And this just cracks me up. Who the fuck is going to go take a nap right now? I can't even sleep on a normal night. Never mind if fucking 1,000 wyvern are coming at me. I ain't sleeping.
No.
Like, who slept? I want to know. Because they're vetting.
I think Violet and Xaden do sleep, but they
No.
yes, they says that they do. Let me get there.
They're vetting. They're all vetting then. Who's fucking sleeping during this?
General Sorrengail leaves them with every minute we hold out gives us a shot at reinforcements making it back. Every second counts. Make no mistakes. We will hold out as long as possible. And the first time I read this, the second time I read this, and then the third time I just read this out loud, I just got full body chills.
I thought you were going to say I cried.
Well, I did cry, but I get these chills because she's, not mincing words. She's like, we will die tomorrow. We're all gonna die, but we're gonna hold out as long as possible for reinforcements to get here, and we're gonna protect the Vale at all costs.
Yeah.
Like, insane.
I know.
Violet and Xaden do spend the night together resting, but also have some very slow, intimate sex. So I think they wore each other out before they had a few hours of sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see that putting her to bed, I guess, when 1,000 wyvern are coming at her. Sure. Let's just go fucking sleep. These fucking idiots. Now I see why you hate them so much.
And here I'm thinking, like, oh, it's their last moment together holding each other. And you're like, fucking idiots. We get mad at the different parts.
Literally. That's why we're so good together.
Yeah. Violet is thinking about how
infantry has only found half the runes, and one was enough to lead the Venin to Resin. So she's like, oh, fuck. No matter what, they're still coming.
They still know where we are.
Yeah.
Violet and Xaden contemplate running away together, which leads them into a frantic makeout session, which almost turns into quick dirty sex, but they are interrupted.
Again.
We haven't had like an actual full sex scene from them since like
The Throne?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that.
Or like after, or maybe when she's.
I feel like The Throne wasn't that long ago.
I don't
Wasn't
know.
it in the last section?
I'm like, there needed to be more sex scenes in this book, or ones that I could read out fully. The scene from them the night before the Venom come. We should have been able to read that.
I know.
Oh well. Brennan, the Flyers, and a few first years, including Sloane, have arrived to Biscayeth.
Yay! Finally!
Yay!
Brennan smartens up for once. So Brennan says that Ree will send the Flyers to hunt the lures since they are faster and way better with runes, which obviously we didn't have this option before, but it sounds much better to me.
Yeah, than the infantry.
Yeah, who never has done anything with Venin before.
Right.
Brennan tells Violet that he can't mend magic or a relic, and probably not a rune either, but she asks if he can mend a wardstone and tells Ree they have to try. So Ree requests that her squad guard the airspace above the wardstone, and General Sorrengail grants the request. Obviously, I think because she knows Brennan's going to try and do the wardstone now. But before, she had no hope in Violet, and now she's like, okay,
Yeah. I think she's just so shocked to see Brennan there to help them that she's like, "Okay, whatever
Yeah,
Brennan
she
wants
doesn't
to
wanna
do."
have she
Yeah.
don't wanna have another showdown with him.
Chapter 61. The battle is going to be starting in this chapter, and I'm just not ready. I'm not ready.
Cue Megan's tears.
I know. He's like, "Almost time, almost time." I'm
Almost
just like,
time.
"No, it's not almost time."
I know. This battle spans, like, a couple of chapters too, so we're
Yeah,
in for it.
it's literally from now, chapter 61, until basically 65.
65? Yeah.
Yeah.
The epigraph for chapter 61 is, though there is some debate, it is greatly believed that turning venom heightens one of the dark wielder's senses. It is this scholar's belief that the one responsible for the death of King Grethwild developed keener eyesight. For not even the best of His Majesty's royal flyers could see through the darkness the venom hid within to slay our beloved king. And this is from Major Edward Tiller's unaccredited study of the venom, property of the Library of Corden.
Violet read that.
Interesting. Yep, for sure.
The Riders and Violet squad stand on the ridgeline above the main campus of Biscayeth, preparing to defend the airspace above the Wardstone. Violet's mother is in front of the front gates with Mira slightly behind her. General Sorengale is in the front of them all, her 3 children in the place she sacrificed them and her soul for.
Ooh, that sounds insanity.
That's such
But
a powerful fucking yes,
hmm,
I know you're about to say foreshadowing.
no, I was gonna
Oh.
say soul. Why is the soul there? Like soul, like venom soul? Maybe she's not dead after all.
Maybe that's why Nolan sends her that. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, at the end.
Because, like, Nolan's brief says there's no cure, there's just control. But, like, Violet's the one saying she sacrificed her soul for it.
True.
Violet doesn't know, wouldn't know.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you for getting me off that crack track.
I was like, wow. But what a deep just image in your head.
Yeah.
I was like crying already. Like the second this
Where's the
chapter
tears, Megan?
started. I know. It's like
I
I
want
have
you
to
to
be in
take a
my
shot.
space. No shots.
I will make you cry 4 times.
Maybe laughter tears, but not
Yeah.
tears tears.
I know, I can never make you cry, it would feel so bad.
Sloane and Ark and the other first years are with Brennan to help him with the Wardstone. So basically, they're just down there hiding, or
Yeah.
Violet's hiding them.
Yeah.
But they think that they're helping.
Yeah.
Also, Indarna showed up and now stands between Taryn and Segale, and she refuses to leave.
Of course.
Yeah.
She is where she is needed.
Zayden makes sure everyone knows their game plan, and they all start reciting back the plan, and everything is in place.
The battle is about to start, and Violet is making sure everyone knows that the Wyvern will try to kill them, but they can't let them distract them from the venom. If they kill the venom, all the Wyvern it created will fall. And from experience, Violet knows they stay close to their creators in battle.
Our squad pulls each other into a hug before mounting their dragons. Violet tells them not to freeze, stay in the air, and no one dies today.
Lift the glasses. Let me see the tears.
No.
So Jacinia also made it to Biscayeth and is currently in the archives comparing Warwick's journal to Lyra's to see if she can figure out why the Oretian words were faulty. She is one brave ass bitch, if you ask me.
She really is. Maybe she's the true main character of
Right?
the story.
Imagine she's like, I can't fight at all, but I'm gonna just go and see if I can figure this out so that we can at least relay the message to each other since you're there.
Yeah, because she's like, if I figure this out and you're too far away, there's nothing I can do about it then.
Honestly, it's not even Violet that saves them. It's fucking Jacinia.
Yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
I mean, Violet figures out what it means, but yeah,
True.
Jasenia does do the translation.
Yeah, so you're right. It's both of them.
They're
It's
a
not
duo
just Jacinia.
power. Scribes for the win in this
Yeah.
situation. Zayden meets Violet between Taryn and Segale and says, I love you. The world does not exist for me beyond you. I couldn't tell you that the last time we flew into a fight, and I should have. Zayden tells Violet to focus on the enemy and her life. Even Malik couldn't keep him from her.
Oh.
That was cute.
There's the tear. There's the tear.
It's just like this whole section with like the squad hugging each other, and then Xaden and Violet, and then the
I
mom and the sister there.
know.
Brennan's working on the ward stone. It's just like, this has to work, you know?
I know. I know. And I feel like they all are just like, we're going to have to just buy time. They have not one of them thinks they're going to survive this. And they're still gung ho,
Yeah,
like ready to go.
and they haven't said it out. Like, they refuse to say it out loud to each other.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, we will live today. Like, no
Yeah.
one dies.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
right before the battle, it starts to rain. And I love this too. Violet says it's her mother imbuing her favorite weapon.
Me.
Oh, so cute. They have grossly underestimated their numbers, but they have to hold long enough for Brennan to mend the ward stone. If they can raise the wards again, even as they were in Arisha, they could stun the wyvern long enough to kill them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't find out the thing we find out at the end, and they just had the 6 to blow on it, it would have stunned the wyvern enough to kill all the wyvern.
Yeah, because it did that at Arisha.
Yeah.
The venom are here.
They have arrived.
They have arrived. And Taryn says that they are spreading out and their formation shows that they are not heading for the Veil, but will engage all forces instead.
Mm-hmm.
All hands on deck.
Yep.
Violet knows she needs to get in a good strike while they are far away. She has her mother move a cloud and takes a shot at it. Bodies start to drop, but the wyvern adjusts and fly under the cloud, dodging dropping carcasses. So basically, she's like, I have this one shot to get this giant strike before any of the dragons and other riders are in the same cloud as them.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, this is my one chance. And she's like, yes, it's working. Then all of a sudden, they, of course, like Venom, they adapt and go under the cloud. And it does kill dozens of them, I'm sure, but not enough.
She does it again. Xaden's still holding them back, like, after this strike. He's
Yeah.
like, hold.
Yeah, yeah.
So she could try to get one more
Right.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she even says it's not going to work again.
Yeah.
But Violet has her conduit in her hand and is ready for more targeted strikes now.
Mhm.
So she strikes a dark wielder and a handful of wyvern fall with them to their death. And Taryn says this is only the first wave. They're probably just probing for weaknesses here.
Yeah, they are for sure. But
Yeah.
I love how they just like trust Violet, and even Xaden's like, hold.
I know. Yeah.
Don't engage.
It would be nice if they just dropped them all, but it would have been anticlimactic and I would have probably hated that.
Yeah, for sure. You're like, this is over already?
Yeah.
But she does get a good chunk, like, of wyvern
Yeah.
with that strike. So that is obviously helpful.
Yeah, for sure. At least 10% of them out.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
What is interesting, though, some of the venom must have not been in the cloud because otherwise I think the wyvern all would have died if the venom were all in the cloud, right?
I doubt there was any venom at the front.
Yeah. My next note is for you, Megan. Imogen has an orange dagger tail.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I forgot that Imogen has an orange, and obviously we didn't know until just now. Me and Amanda have read this book before. But
Yeah.
I did not remember. I probably was too
I didn't
busy
remember either.
crying to like read that Imogen has an orange dagger tail. But it just bums me out that Brennan and Imogen have oranges because I don't trust people with orange dragons. They're fucking nutbags.
I know. But not all orange dragons are bad. They're just the most unpredictable, so.
Yeah.
So Sawyer and his dragon are in trouble, and they're about to face off 3 wyvern, one who bears a venom.
Mm-hmm.
Violet strikes one wyvern with lightning, and he's dead. But the venom locks eyes with Violet and drops out of battle on his way to the ground to feed, and Xaden is on it.
Yeah.
She's like, and he's like,
got it.
I'm going.
Yes, boss.
Yes, boss.
Even though technically he got put there as like their wing leader.
Yeah, literally.
Violet is worried about her friends, but Taryn reminds her that she needs to let them focus on their jobs and she needs to focus on hers or this will all fall apart because we know
Exactly.
Violet thinks she has to have her hand in every single fucking pot. Like, you can't help Sawyer, Rhiannon, Riddick, and Xaden all at the same time. Like, you need to focus on your job. Trust your friends that they can do theirs, or this is all gonna go to hell in 5 seconds.
Exactly. There's way too many of them to lose.
Yeah, they need to stick to
lose
the
their
plan.
position. Yeah.
So Violet has to remind herself that this isn't the craziness of Resin. This is a coordinated defense.
And they're not surprised either.
Right, yes. They had only 10 hours to put this together, but it's 10 more hours they had than they did at Resin.
They had plenty of time if they can fucking take a nap, okay?
Yeah. Yeah,
to
they could
come up
have
with a
sex
goddamn plan.
multiple times and take a
Yeah,
nap.
literally. Violet continues to strike and hits 2/3 of her targets and no dragons. So she's like, that's a win for me. I'm not killing any dragons.
Yeah.
And it seems like she can aim now, people. We got the conduit and we can aim. Hell yeah. And she's thinking, which I thought was very interesting, I no longer feel like I direct the storm. I am the storm.
Which is what the Venom
Ooh.
told her she would be. He's like
Right?
he's like, "You will control the skies." That's what the
Yeah.
Venom told her.
Well, this just brings me back to her whole conversation with Felix and how he was saying lightning is really her most comfortable way of using her signet, but it's really just like pure energy.
Mhm.
So maybe she can wield a whole fucking storm, and
Yeah.
she's just realizing it now.
Yeah. I just want her to be able to be like Spider-Man, like, pew, 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 with her, like, with her
The
volts.
lightning, yeah.
Yeah. One day.
One day.
There is a wave of Wyvern and 3 Dark Wielders coming for their group because they know Violet is taking them out left and right over here, as well as Xaden. So Xaden and Violet are doing a very good job of keeping from moving past their sector and taking them down left and right. So
Yeah.
these men are like, oh, no, we got to come for you. But their squad is just working so seamlessly together.
I think the importance of the sectors is because, like, when you hear 1,000 Wyvern are coming, you're going to think 1,000 Wyvern are coming for you.
Yeah.
But splitting it up in sectors, if they have 10 sectors, that's 100 Wyvern. They
Yeah.
definitely have more than 10 sectors.
Yeah.
Let's do the math.
There's only 119 cadets plus 10
True.
leadership. So whatever squads they could put together. So there's probably like 12,
Plus the
13
flyers.
sectors. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. So that's still like 100 Wyvern per
Yeah.
sector. Yeah, this is why they feel helpless. I'm reminded.
Yeah. Just because
I feel helpless and I know how it ends.
yeah, our group is working really well together, but that doesn't mean every group is going to work
True.
well together.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think they were saying when they were in battle, we like we'll replace people or move sectors around as people die. They weren't like
Oh, they also have infantry too. So that's another 1,000 people, maybe. Not that they're
what are they fucking doing on the ground?
yeah,
Dying?
honestly, I don't know what they're doing on the ground.
Yeah.
Unless they're shooting daggers at people.
Yeah, I'm sure they could shoot, maybe try to get the Wyvern at least to the ground, and then they can, I don't know, fucking stab. I don't know.
Hand-to-hand combat.
With the venom? Yeah, I don't know.
Anywho, a Dark Wielder lands on Taryn's back, and Violet is still strapped in, but trying hard to free herself, obviously. She's like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
He is just an ASIM, though, and she thinks she can take him. He says to her, you're the one he wants. And she says, your sage? He says, you'll meet them all soon enough. All. So more than one sage.
Yeah.
Ree comes to the rescue and jumps from Ferge to Taryn's back right in front of Violet's saddle.
Badass.
And Taryn even is allowing this. He's like, come on, Ree.
Well, if it's to save Violet and he doesn't
True.
want Violet out of her saddle, then he's like, come on over.
I guess he technically could have just tipped because Violet's in the saddle. She's not going to fall. And the Wyvern would have just fell off of him, but sure, Ree, come to the rescue.
Yeah. Taryn's like, I fucking hate them all. So chapter 62, Rhiannon comes to the rescue. We have lots of squad things happening in this chapter. I don't want to talk about it. Just let's keep going.
But you have to cry. So
No!
you take a shot.
I will not cry.
Okay. I'm just kidding. I don't want you to cry.
Okay.
But I will still make you take a shot. Maybe for our 1-year episode, we'll take a shot together.
Okay. I don't like this chapter.
Me neither. Okay, let's get it over with. The epigraph for chapter 62 is, the easiest way to defeat a dragon is to kill its rider. Though the creature will most likely survive the blow, it will be stunned long enough to be felled. And this is from chapter 3, The Tactical Guide to Defeating Dragons by Colonel Elijah Jobin.
Well, I didn't like this epigraph when we were reading. I'm like, who's about to fucking die?
Yeah, I was like, a creature? Although I guess creature, it could mean anything at this point because we have griffins, dragons, and wyvern.
Yeah, true.
But it is scary because it has that whole dragon rider sentence before.
Yeah. Rhiannon fights the venom and the venom kicks her, causing her to skid backwards along Taryn's scales. Violet grabs her and presses a dagger into Rhiannon's hands. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Woo-hoo. So Violet shoots the venom with her exploding arrows, and Taryn banks hard right, and the venom falls. Violet grabs Ree's ankle and Ree grabs one of Taryn's spikes, and all is well. So Ree doesn't fall, the venen's out, we're golden.
Yes.
She jumps back on Ferge and goes on with the battle. She's like, see you later.
Yeah,
Good
she's
luck.
like fucking Kim Possible. Like, she's just like
Yeah.
jumping around dragons' backs. Like, what?
Right? She is a fucking badass.
So crazy. Violet keeps reminding herself that this isn't Reston and she didn't just lose her best friend.
Aw.
Taryn,
Yeah, she just jumped off.
yeah,
She's
she's
good.
fine.
Yeah.
Taryn tells Violet that Mel Green is 2 minutes out, but only 2 of his aides were able to keep up. So not much of help is here yet.
Yeah.
Also, most of the Dark Wielders are still holding back in the second wave. So
Yeah. They're just waiting for direction to
fuck.
or for the go.
Yeah.
Megan, I took on this next little section of this chapter for you.
I know, I was so grateful.
So Riddick's dragon roars in pain. A wyvern has its teeth locked on him with 3 more closing in. So Violet loads her crossbow and Sawyer and his dragon fly in and the dragon swings its tail at the trio. 1 down with its head bashed in and 3 to go. Sawyer's dragon swings its tail at the wyvern biting down on Riddick's dragon, but only cuts its leg, so not really doing much.
Mm-hmm.
The closest wyvern blasts green fire and Sawyer dives backwards so he doesn't get roasted. But Sawyer ends up kicking at the wyvern to save his dragon from getting bit, but instead the wyvern bites his leg off. Literally nothing below his knee. R.I.P. Sawyer's leg.
Sawyer's still alive. I just want to
Sawyer's
say
alive.
Sawyer's alive. He just doesn't have a leg.
Which means he can't be a rider anymore. You can't ride on a dragon with 1 leg.
Well, maybe they have prosthetics. We don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't see it happening because even Violet says in this point, like, you can't mend something that's not there. So it's not like Brennan can do anything about it unless they, I guess, cut open the wyvern and get his leg back. If else is happening.
Oh my god, I don't think so.
No.
Violet apologizes to Taryn and jumps onto Riddick's dragon's back. She's like, I'm so sorry about this.
Yeah.
And Taryn's like, you fucking idiot.
I told you to stay seated.
Yeah, roar, I'm your dad.
Roar, I'm your dad. So funny. Roar,
I'm your dad. Riddick is doing all he can to dislodge the wyvern from the dragon's throat. Violet hands Riddick her crossbow, telling him to fire it once she's on Sawyer's dragon.
Telling everybody what to do, this bitch.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Violet is not going to lose Sawyer today, so she is reckless and jumps to his dragon.
Well, I think she's on the wyvern first. Like, when she jumps from Riddick's dragon, she lands on the wyvern. And she asks Sawyer's dragon's permission to help him.
Really?
Yes.
Shit. How did I miss that?
Yeah, she jumps onto the fucking wyvern first to ask fucking permission to go onto his back to save Sawyer.
That's crazy. Holy shit. So once she gets on the dragon, thank God.
Yes.
Then
Taryn says he's going to throttle Violet himself once she gets on the ground.
well, now I understand why.
Yeah,
She didn't just jump to the dragon. She jumped to the wyvern, then the dragon.
well, she jumped to a dragon, to a wyvern, then to a dragon. So she's like, thinks she's like Mario, like playing.
She's like playing leapfrog or something.
Yeah. It's like
Leap
duck,
dragon.
duck, wyvern. Dragon, dragon, wyvern.
Duck, duck, wyvern. So Violet grabs Sawyer and free falls, just hoping that Taryn will catch her for the 1000th time. But of course, he does. They bring him down to the ground to call for aid.
I love also when Violet literally launches herself off of Sawyer's dragon, hoping that Taryn will catch them. Zayden's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's
And
like,
Taryn's like, you just happened to know I'd catch you? And she's like, yep.
I love how Violet's just like,
Yeah.
she's like, Zayden, do you not just see me play dragon, wyvern, dragon? Like, what? Now you're worried?
Get with it.
Yeah.
Leapfrog, bitch. Jump, jump, dive.
We're chaotic.
We are.
Violet tells Taryn that she knew that Sawyer's dragon wouldn't have defended itself when Sawyer was in danger. So Violet took Sawyer and knew Taryn would catch them. She's like, I wasn't going to lose my friend by the wyvern killing Sawyer or the wyvern then killing Sawyer's dragon, therefore losing Sawyer anyway. So I just eliminated the problem.
She saves the dragon too by getting rid of Sawyer so that he can
defend
fucking,
himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Taryn tells Violet at this time that Brennan has mended the fucking stone into one piece, but does
Hells
not
yes.
feel hopeful.
Well, at least it's in one piece again.
This is like a roller coaster. They're like, he mended it, but no, not
Yeah.
gonna be good. Gonna be good.
Violet is able to get Sawyer to the ground. He is still conscious, and the flyers will get him to the healers.
He's losing a lot of blood, but he's good.
Kat is also with this group of flyers, and she thinks it's badass because she saw what happened in the air, and she goes and says, like, I'll take care of Sawyer for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're becoming good friends.
Oh, yeah.
For now. We'll see. A Venom appears with Violet, and Kat runs back to Violet's aid. The Venom doesn't care about Kat, and she tells Violet that she has orders not to kill her, and that Violet will be so much fun for him to wield. But who is him?
And how can he wield Violet?
Yeah, interesting. It's almost like the Venom can control each other.
Or they just hold something against Violet to make
maybe
her do what they want.
Yeah, that's true. The Venom was only an ASIM, but she believes she would be more than that soon, and his favorite for delivering her, and she will be given the veil when all this is over. So, damn, Violet's worth the veil?
That's crazy.
That's definitely more powerful than Violet, so what do we not know about this bitch?
Literally.
That the fucking Venom know. Because they know something.
Oh, they know. They knew who Violet was going to be before Violet even knows who she's going to be.
Future seers?
Maybe.
So Violet realizes that it's actually Kat doing this and heightening the woman's greed. But another Dark Wielder appeals and says, enough win. So of course I searched the word win everywhere, and there's no other win, unfortunately. I was hoping it'd be like an epigraph person or something. Yeah. But no.
It's interesting that this person gets a name.
Yeah.
This new Venom throws out a hand and knocks Kat to the ground.
This gives Violet an opportunity to strike, which she does and instantly kills Win. But also, I just thought about this when you said that, Megan. What if this is why she has a name? Because maybe she's not really dead.
Oh.
Because you're right. Why else would she have a fucking name?
I know. I don't know. It's weird. Unless, like, this Win ends up being, like, important to, like, the sage or something.
Yeah.
You killed Win!
Or I guess we really haven't seen two Venom interact before.
Right. True.
To know even any other names.
Yeah, to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Venom then uses his magic to destroy Violet's conduit.
Oh, no. This other Venom is powerful, and he flips his hand upward, and Violet is suspended in midair. Just like the dream, but it isn't the same sage.
Yeah, I don't even think this is a sage that is holding her up in the air.
Jesus, so how fucking powerful are these sages?
I know. Taryn and Xaden yell that they are on their way, but Violet knows that they won't make it in time. Because of course, Taryn's he's always like, 1 minute!
Of course, he wouldn't be Taryn if he was there on time. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he shot back up into the sky to help Sigale, so
yeah.
I guess it's fine.
Yeah. He's not just chilling, taking a nap, and having sex, okay?
Yeah, he's fighting Wyvern.
Yeah. So a shape moves from the cliffs behind. A boulder with slivers of golden eyes springs forward, expanding its wings and claws, changing colors into black scales.
What?
Whoa.
Chapter 63. We learn a lot about our favorite girl dragon and Darna. And Melgreen has arrived. He has a dumbass plan, and Violet has a better one. She's like, we are going to raise these fucking wards. We're going to win this battle.
Yes. Here's where all the hope comes in.
Yes.
We're almost to the end of this battle. Mm-hmm. But the epigraph for chapter 63 is, I am alone in thinking the knowledge of the wards, the protections they provide, should not solely benefit Navarre, and it has cost me everything. From the Journal of Lyra of Moraine, translated by Cadet Jacinia Neilwart. But, Megan, where have we heard this before? Costs me everything.
With Naolin!
With Naolin!
Who we think is a Venom!
This is not a coincidence here.
Is Lyra a Venom?
That would be nuts. Because she's the only one that thinks it shouldn't solely benefit Navarre. So it kind of makes sense to me that she is Venom because she's like, oh yeah? You think you're going to be the only ones? I'm gonna show you.
But would she purposely turn venom?
It seems like to me these
Maybe the
people
rest
are
of the
forced into it. Like they're put in this situation where it's like
Mm.
dire and they're gonna literally die or they're gonna live and they choose to live always.
Yeah, maybe the other 5, because she's part of obviously the first 6, maybe the other 5 turned against her, and so in order to survive, she had to
She
become
had to.
venom.
Yeah. Because she's the only one that doesn't think.
Yeah,
From the 2 journals that they have, anyways. We don't
yeah.
know about the others, but
We know Warwick did not want any other wardstone going up. That's why he didn't put all the information in there.
yeah, that would be interesting. And Darna lands in front of the venom and breathes fucking fire. And then rips its head off and spits it out like the badass that she is. She's like, that was gross. Violet's like, you look like part of the cliff. And then Darna says, I told you I knew how to hide. And Violet's like, that's not hiding.
Yes. Taryn, Sigale, and Xaden arrive, and Taryn is very proud that Indarna breathes fire. But also, hold up, are none of these other people, Violet's standing there with her jaw to the fucking ground, and no one else is like, did
Who is this
Indarna just kill this venom? Maybe because there's so much else going on.
Well, I feel like she definitely blew fire and then ripped his head off. So I don't think they are putting together yet that the fire killed the venom, right?
Well, did the fire kill the venom?
Yeah, did it? We don't
Because
even
she
know.
ripped its head off, but why didn't Taryn just do that? You know what I mean? Like, none of the other dragons are ripping venom's heads off.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe they just didn't expect her to come out and she just kind of came out.
They took them off guard.
Yeah. That's kind of what I assumed.
Yeah, like,
Because even Violet was like, this boulder coming at us, but it has a sliver of golden eyes. Like, she's getting an idea, but she doesn't even know it's her dragon. So I'm sure nobody else is realizing.
yeah,
Until she hits the venom and fucking spits his head out.
right. But this venom was definitely, yeah. So maybe he was just stunned, so she
Yeah.
got the best of it. But
And coming from behind, maybe too. Could have been coming from like.
So we don't know if Indarna's fire is in fact different, because we don't know if that's how obviously she ripped the venom's head off.
Yeah.
Does ripping the head off kill venom? Apparently it does.
Apparently decapitating them does. They
'Cause
just only think it's the daggers because they never fucking rip heads off, I guess.
Yes.
Now they're like, take all the heads! Like the fucking Queen of Hearts. All for the head!
I know, because they're like, the only way you can kill a venom is using these imbued fucking daggers.
But
And
also the lightning.
the lightning, but it's power,
Yeah.
not decapitation.
I mean, if you literally remove the brain from the body, what are you going to do?
No, I know. I just don't know why more dragons aren't ripping heads off.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is Indarna different? That's what I guess I'm just trying to figure out. Because obviously she just looked like a fucking boulder.
Right.
Is her teeth and her fire different than the other dragons?
Yeah. Well, now that we know there's a whole 7th breed, it totally is possible.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait to find out more.
Because nobody knows about the 7th breed. So to me, that seems they could be different.
Yeah.
So Melgreen orders Violet and Xaden to the Vale. The Wyvern are tired of waiting for permission to attack, and the final wave hasn't even come yet. So Violet thinks moving 2 of them with Sawyer already injured will leave the squad and Brennan and the Wardstone too exposed. And Xaden agrees that they are holding their own up at the Vale while the wave recedes so that they can go argue their point at this point. They're like, we're not going anywhere. We're staying right here.
Yeah.
Infantry is hit the hardest, as Xaden notes they usually are, which makes sense. The healers ran out of beds 20 minutes ago, so we got lots of injuries. And Kat tells Violet to tell the general that the Griffins will fight in the air if she can stop the rain. But if not, they should be deployed on the ground, because they do have the most experience with venom, and they're fucking faster than infantry on their Griffins.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't even imagine why they wouldn't deploy them on the floor when they first got there. Like, what are they doing this whole time? They're just chilling?
They've just been running the injuries in.
Well, I guess, too, they've been looking for the lures, too.
Yeah. Now that they're not doing that anymore, she's like, let us be more useful.
Yeah.
So in the center of the courtyard, the leadership is meeting, and Jasenia finds Violet there. Xaden said that he will go and start picking the fight with leadership while she talks to Jasenia.
Yeah, and Jasenia thinks she found the difference between the 2 journals, but she actually thinks that Lyra's is the lie. The only difference between the 2 is 7. the breath of life of the 7 combined and set the stone ablaze in an iron flame. But 7 dragons is impossible. There are only 6 dens, and Jacinia notes, though, that there are 7 circles on the wardstone in Orisha, 7 runes.
Violet sends Jasenia to Sawyer's side and says Marin will get them out if needed. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Warwick's journal technically didn't lie. It was just more of a riddle because he said the 6
Yeah.
and the 1 combined.
Yeah, well, we know from that epigraph that he didn't want them to know, which
Yes.
is why he made it more of like a riddly thing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't expecting anyone to figure it out, which they really didn't using his
No.
book,
Yeah.
or his journal. So Violet's thinking in this moment, could it be a griffin? But no, it couldn't since their magic doesn't work under the wards. But something pops into Violet's head and she describes it as her brain trips down the path that makes the only sense, even if the path is ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
She slams her shield shut. She's the only one holding the ultimate secret.
I know, I'm surprised. Okay, this is where I'm like, I don't understand why Xaden, Taryn, and Sigil can't know this right now. That doesn't make any sense.
That's true.
Like, why
Maybe
does she
because
have to
she's
hold
saying like it's so crazy. The idea is just so ludicrous, and it's literally only magic. Like it logically makes sense to her, but it's not going to make sense to anybody else. She probably just doesn't want anyone to stop her. She's like, let me shut down this shit. Plus, she has to talk to Coda, which Taryn wouldn't like.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's like, I can't, no distractions. No one's going to stop me. This is happening.
Yeah, okay. So Melgreen wants to send Taryn and Sigil to defend the Veil. The Veil is all that matters right now. The archives are sealed and the fortress can be rebuilt. They want to abandon Biscayeth.
Crazy. This almost makes me seem like the fucking leadership is working with the Venin. Why would they abandon Biscayeth where the most powerful source of magic lies?
Well, they're gonna go defend the source of the power, the Veil. They're gonna go defend the Veil, but they're saying
That's
like
true. The Veil is more than Biscayeth. I was thinking the Wardstone was at the strongest place, but it's just the strongest place for Biscayeth, not the strongest place overall.
Yeah, I think they're saying we can rebuild Biscayeth, but we can't, and the archives are sealed. No one can get in there. We can rebuild a castle. We can't rebuild the Veil.
But once the Veil's gone, we lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So their leader has arrived and he flies on a slightly larger wyvern in royal blue. Violet argues that if they raise the wards, every wyvern on this field is dead and every dark worlder will be powerless. She begs her mom to go down there with her to see if it will hold power and help her imbue it.
Melgreen thinks that they are wasting time and this is his army. Xaden reminds him that it's half his army, and seeing as Melgreen had no problem executing his father, Xaden has no problem leaving him to die if Melgreen refuses to help Violet.
That's right. Just fucking take him out of his misery now. And be like, you don't want to help? You're dead like the Venin.
Yeah, Melgreen shuts his mouth real quick then.
Yeah.
Xaden says that he is going to buy Violet the time she needs and that the Venin and Wyvern have not attacked yet because they are waiting for him.
Interesting. Is our little Zadie Poo having nightmares as well?
Yeah, because clearly these Venin are looking for Violet, or when they're having these interactions, like they're like, oh, you're the one he wants, you're the one
exactly.
he wants.
Yeah.
But I think that he wants both of them.
Both of them.
Because we keep hearing they complement each other, they work well together, they have to be together. So I feel like the Venin know that they need both Xaden and Violet for any of their plans to work.
Interesting.
He obviously has to be having these dreams because he's like, they're waiting for me, but they're not just waiting for Xaden. I think they're waiting also for Violet to be there with him too.
Yeah, interesting. Let's finish this battle up, Megan.
Moving on to chapter 64. So Xaden is going to hold the line here and deal with the general of the Venin, and Violet's going to go and try to get this Wardstone up and running so that they can win this fucking battle.
Fuck yeah. The epigraph for chapter 64 is, you're going to love Violet. She's smart and stubborn. Reminds me a lot of you, actually. You just have to remember when you meet her, she is not her mother. And this is from Recovered Correspondence of Cadet Liam Mari to Sloane Mari. And I forgot this one, and this is where I knew the fourth cheer would come. The mention of Liam's name.
It's such a perfect part to put this letter.
I know.
Especially the part that says,
girl.
She's stubborn. I fucking hate Violet.
She is stubborn, but she's smart.
Is she? Not in this chapter. No.
She's smart, except for when it comes to Xaden, which everybody is stupid when they're in love. So you can't hate her for it.
I hate her. Just in this chapter.
Okay. I'll
Violet
allow it.
Violet wants to know how Zayden knows that they're waiting for him. Because she's like, I feel like they're waiting for me. Like, why would you
Yeah.
say that? What do you mean? Why do you say that?
Yeah.
Zayden points at the same sage that Violet recognizes. Zayden tells Violet that the sage thought that they would be in Samara and do the honorable thing and answer Melgreen's call for help. Violet wants to know how the hell Zayden knows that, but Zayden says, do us both a favor and don't ask.
What the fuck?
Do you think that, like, they were going to try to kidnap Zayden and Violet in Samara? And that's why they're kind of, like, super pissed that they're all at Basgiath right now? I think they're both having the same dreams
Yeah.
with the sage.
So he knows that they thought he would be at Samara?
Maybe Zayden had another dream having a discussion with the sage, thinking, oh, you'll go to Samara, you'll do the honorable thing, and you'll
Right.
show up there. And
Yeah.
that's obviously not the case.
So Violet tells Zayden that she has to choose wards at Arisha or Basgiath because she only has the resources to do this once.
Zayden tells her to ward wherever she is, which is here. Violet protests concerns for his home, but Zayden tells her that she is his home now. If they die here today, the knowledge dies, so he tells her to ward Basgiath, which makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Obviously, I feel like they're going to choose the wards at Basgiath because they're there. What the fuck are they going to do?
Right.
Fly away and go to Arisha during all this?
Right, yeah, they need to save where they are now.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess she just would have continued to fight. She wouldn't go and try to put the wards up.
Yeah, okay. So Violet tells Coda that she needs to talk to him.
Yeah, I love she just whips around. She's like, I need to talk to you. And Zayden's like, whoa, holy fuck, Violet.
Yeah. So not only is she talking to dragons hopping on their backs.
And Wyvern.
And Wyvern. But she's like, Coda, the eldest of the Black Den. She's like, you, me, let's talk. Violet tells him that he knows, but didn't tell his rider because Dragonkind saves Dragonkind. And Violet tells Coda that she needs his help, and if he doesn't come, the Empyrean will end.
Zayden tells her she doesn't need Coda because she has Indarna. Violet ignores him and asks Coda again, will you come? And Coda agrees.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
I don't know any other black dragons in the story.
Yeah. Violet wants to know why Zayden thinks the Venin are coming for him, but they don't have time. Zayden says that she needs to trust him to fight while she puts up the wards at the end of this. Zayden is looking at her like he may or may not see her again, but Violet tells him, you will stay alive.
You will.
You will stay alive.
It took everything Brennan had to mend the ward stone. It doesn't say cost me everything, but it says it took him everything. So I'm like, I think Brennan's safe for now.
Well, yeah, and he's physically exhausted. Like, it doesn't look like he just ripped from the ground and has his strength back again.
Well, also, he helps Violet later.
Yeah.
By mending her. So, did it take everything, Brennan? No. You're a liar.
He's just tired.
He's just tired.
He's been working on this for hours.
Yeah. So Violet knows the stone has to get imbued, so she opens her archive doors to Terran's power and lets it flow. Even though it took her, Dane, and Zayden weeks to imbue the stone at Arisa, she's like, I can do this.
Brennan will get every available rider who can imbue down to fire this baby up.
Violet tells Indarna that she knows and can't believe she didn't fucking tell her. She should have listened to her when Indarna tried to tell her that she was the head of her own den. That's why no one could fight her right of benefaction last year, and why the Empyrean allowed a juvenile to bond.
Indarna's scales are not really black, as her scales turn to gray, the color of the stones, but she always wanted to be like Terran, so that's why she had chosen her color to be black.
Black. Oh. She's really a camouflage little crazy bitch.
I know, but does she have like a true color? Is it that purpley color?
Iridescent?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do lizards that can camouflage actually have a color? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a good question. We'll have to answer that at Final Thoughts.
Man, it's like I'm gonna do some research on camouflage.
Yeah. But Indarna says if she couldn't figure it out, then she wasn't worthy of knowing.
Hells yes, Indarna.
Yep. We also find out that Indarna waited 650 years to hatch. She waited until Violet's 18th summer when she heard the elders talking about the weakling daughter of their general, the girl who was supposed to be head of the scribes, and she knew. Her rider would have the mind of a scribe and the heart of a rider. She is the 7th dragon breed, and her breathing on the wardstone is the reason she was left behind when the rest of her den left.
Where did they go?
Where did they go, Megan?
Where is the 7th breed?
Do you want to hear my guess?
Yes.
I guess the Isle Kingdoms.
Mm.
Because we know they were allies. So I feel like they would hide the dragons there.
Yes. Interesting.
But they hate them now. So I feel like that's even more of a reason why they would want to keep them there. Because then they can never raise the wardstones again.
True.
That's why I think they're there. But who knows? So Violet is seeing Xaden battle the Sage through Taryn's eyes now. The Sage is gaining on Xaden, backing him against the edge of the ravine. Taryn's vision moves to Sigale, where 3 wyvern are moving in to attack, and one breathes cherry red fire, which means another breed of wyvern now.
Shit.
So we don't know, is this one more powerful than the green? I'm assuming so, because it seems a little bit more rare.
Right, for sure.
And now we have blue, green, red.
Yeah, just 3 so far.
Megan, this sounds like our dragon colors, though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's true. Is there orange and black?
And brown? And camouflage?
And camouflage, whatever color that is? I think she's like gray, probably.
Yeah. So Violet realizes that the price for imbuing the stone and saving everyone she loves is her life. She tells Taryn and Darna to choose to live. Violet considers, for a slight second, taking power from the earth to save them all. But Taryn tells her, no, save yourself. If she dies, he will follow. And Indarna is telling her to let go. So he's like, bitch, you ain't dying because guess what? You're the last rider I'm having. So if you die, I die too.
But she's still not stopping. She doesn't
know.
stop. And like, this is when I called Amanda last night because I was yelling. I'm like, for such a smart girl, she literally says, my life isn't enough to imbue this stone, so the others will have to finish when I get here. Just fucking stop right now. You have nothing else to give. Just wait till the other people get here. Like, it literally makes zero logical sense. Taryn just said, like, he is not going to live. He is going to die with her because he's told her a million times, like, she is his last rider. So not only are you killing Taryn, you're then killing Sigale and Xaden, who you say you're doing this all for. So it literally makes zero sense at all. And I was fucking angry.
Violet doesn't stop until General Sorrengail literally kicks her with full strength, sending her across the chamber, breaking her hold on the wardstone.
Good.
Why didn't anybody else do this sooner is what I'm wondering.
Well, Brennan goes over and he's like, Violet, stop. And she's not listening. So her mom has to literally just like fucking kick her across the room.
Yeah.
Brennan heals the body that she's been so reckless with. No shit, Violet. I can't.
Oh, Brennan, now all of a sudden you haven't taken everything to mend Violet.
Well, he's tired when he does it.
Yeah. Or is it a trick? Is he already Venom?
Ah!
That would be wild.
It would be.
Crack track.
Yeah.
We'll get off that. So Xaden is dying and Violet knows it. General Sorrengail convinces Sloane to siphon General Sorrengail's power to her death to imbue the stone and save everyone, including Violet.
General Sorrengail tells Violet and Brennan that all 3 of her children were everything they ever dreamed they would be, and now she would go and be with their father.
Oh, she's so sweet to them, but she's also like, remember, I killed your parents to Sloane? She's like trying to fire her up.
Well, she's trying to
like, I made you watch them die.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, remember your brother? Yeah, I should have been paying more attention. Maybe he'd still be alive. Sloane's like,
yeah. She's like, yep, you're right.
Yeah.
So Violet fights, of course, but she's too weak to do anything about it. And General Sorrengail dies. All of her power and her dragon's power has been imbued in the stone.
Mm-hmm.
So RIP to her dragon as well.
Yeah, Aimsmere. Brennan catches her body and Mira arrives too late, screaming at Brennan, asking him what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And Darna tells Violet that Xaden needs her. Taryn and Sigale wait with him.
All the dragons breathe their fire and Violet sees the black flames on top of the stone. The wards Our backup, bitches.
Yeah, and Violet thinks this is all that is left of my mother.
Crazy.
Chapter 65. Violet is in her feels about Mommy Sorengale,
Mm-hmm.
and Xaden is in a bad way.
Yes.
I'm not ready to say it.
And the wyvern are dropping.
And at least the wyvern died.
Like
Okay.
raindrops are falling on your head. It's like wyvern are falling on your head.
Or it's raining wyvern. Hallelujah.
Rain. Yeah. I love it. We haven't sang in so long together.
This is an unhinged episode of Bookish Bliss, and we're drinking like not alcohol.
We're not even drinking.
Yeah.
We're just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, the epigraph for chapter 65 is most generals dream of dying in service to their kingdom. But you know me better than that, my love. When I fall, it will be for one reason only to protect our children. And this is recovered, unsent correspondence of General Lilith Sorengale.
That's really sad.
That's really sad. And why is it unsent? Was she thinking this and was going to send it to him before he dies?
Maybe.
But also, why is he sending her correspondence if they're both in the same place?
Yeah.
Unless she wasn't at the time of his death.
I know. I don't know. Why is it unsent?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
And Darna tells Violet the thuds are wyvern bodies. And Darna also asks Violet to forgive her. But Violet is unsure what she is asking forgiveness for, which I also don't understand what maybe for not telling her. But she had just said, like in the last chapter, if you didn't figure it out, like you weren't worthy of knowing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Violet does say, I'm not sure what you're asking forgiveness for.
Yeah.
Taryn tells Violet that she will live today and will wake up tomorrow, and that Xaden still lives. Okay,
He does live.
It seems like everything in this part of the chapter is on the up, besides her mom being dead.
Yeah. So Reed tells Violet that the wyvern fell from the sky like deadweights, and the venom panicked and ran.
Mm-hmm. Love that Reed literally shoved Dane out of the way to get to Violet.
Yeah, love that too.
Yeah, Reed and Violet share a hug when Violet tells Reed that her mom gave her life to imbue the ward stone.
Aw.
Yeah, that's when he finally just breaks down crying in Reed's arms.
Aw. So leadership is hunting the venom down, and there is no chance leadership can hide this now.
No.
It's only a matter of hours before every Navarian knows that they've been lied to. I would hope so when 1,000 fucking wyvern are dropping from the sky.
Literally. It's not just
ain't no fucking raindrops. Like, you literally gotta run out of the way or you're gonna get smashed.
This isn't like Xaden and Garrick dropping a few at every outpost. This is like all over the freaking country.
I mean, I'm sure they're like bunkered down in their houses, but if one of these things falls on your house, you're fucked.
Hopefully you have insurance.
Hopefully.
Oh shit. Violet moves through the battlefield to make her way to Taryn and Sigale. Violet tells Taryn that him and Darna need to catch up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sigale lets Violet pass to Xaden, and Sigale tells Violet that she fought well today and to be careful of her words. Violet asks Xaden what happened.
Xaden killed the sage. He says he snapped whatever tether he had on him and killed him. His body fell into the ravine, but Xaden keeps looking at the river to see if it will pop back up. So I have two questions. Mm-hmm. One, obviously the big question, is this motherfucker really dead? Because we don't see a body.
Right.
And number two, how does he know he snapped whatever tether he has on him?
I don't know. I think he says in his chapter, like, he felt it snap, but what kind of tether did he have on him to begin with?
Yeah, exactly. And how did he know how to snap it? Or is it just snapping when he's killed him?
Yeah, his power is holding Xaden into place. So maybe that's what he means by, like, he tethered their connection by, like, snapping the power that the venom was using against him.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. He says that he killed him, but he just says he like basically pushed him into the ravine. Did he use a dagger to kill him? I don't know. It doesn't say. So obviously he's not going to pop back up in the same spot. He says logically he knows like he's already downstream anyways.
Yeah, which is why he's looking out that way.
Yeah, so probably, I don't know. I don't think he's dead.
No, I feel like we would have a body if he was dead. Just like Jack fucking Barlow. We didn't fucking confirm that he was dead.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
Yeah. Violet apologizes that she wasn't there and she reaches for his hand, but Xaden tugs it away. Xaden says he's sorry to hear about Violet's mother and that he would never want anyone Violet loves dead. So obviously,
Yeah, he's also not looking her in the eyes.
Violet says that Mel Green wants them to come back, and Xaden says, well, then we'll come back. The wards are up here and they are already weakening in Orisha. He makes Violet promise to tell him how she got the wards back up later. Xaden says it's safer for Violet here. She'll be less scared under the full wards. Violet is like, I just fought an entire Wyvern Dark wielding army. What is scarier than that? Xaden says, you love me? Violet says, of course she does. And what is it that she should be scared of? What has him so shaken? Xaden takes forever to look Violet in her eyes, and when he does, she gasps. No is all Violet can think, not the man she is hopelessly in love with. Me, Xaden says.
No! This is where she notices that Xaden has red rings emanating from his gold-flecked onyx eyes.
You should be scared of me, Xaden says again.
No!
I was in full disbelief. Plus, I finished way before any
I
of
was
our
gonna
book club,
say.
and I was like panicking. Like no one else that I knew. Like I have a bunch of other friends that read this series outside of our book club, and I like had nobody. Nobody had finished it yet, and I was just running around my apartment. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my
She
god.
was like, can you fucking sit down and finish? She was like, I threw the book. I threw it. I'm like, okay, I'm trying.
Yes, you see on like TikTok, like all these people like like gasping at the end and being like in disbelief. But they also did that for Fourth Wing too, when it was just like Brennan being alive.
Brennan,
So,
yeah. So
but
you
this
never
is
know.
way different.
Way different.
Way different.
Xaden is fucking venom. And we got a little gold flex onyx eyes here. Onyx storm. I feel like it's gonna be a venom focused book for sure.
So the last chapter in Iron Flame, chapter 66, is from our newly turned veteran Xaden Ryerson. And he is kind of recounting his experience with the venom. He is watching Violet sleep like a creepy person, and he goes to see Jack fucking Barlow.
Yep. The epigraph for chapter 66, which we've already kind of talked about, but it is officially, we have tried every method we know of, as you requested. There is no cure. There is only control. And this is a missive from Lieutenant Colonel Nolan Calbersey to General Lilith Sorrengail, which I just realized this says we tried every known method as you requested. So she knows.
Yeah.
Because she requested it.
Yeah. Well, and this isn't about Jack because he wasn't a lieutenant colonel. He's a colonel now. So this has to be about somebody else. We just don't know who.
Interesting.
So we'll have to give a think about who she was.
Dude, is it her? I'm convinced it's her. I'm convinced it's fucking her, and I will explain more later, but I'm convinced it's her.
In our theories episode, so
yes, you'll have to stick around to watch that and why I think that, but I'm fucking calling it right now. It's General Lilith Sorrengail.
So Xaden recounts his experience with the venom leader. The sage has been wearing him down.
Xaden was approaching burnout while fighting the sage and is now suspended in the air, held in place by invisible strings of power. So now we're just seeing basically what happened while Violet was trying to save the Wardstone.
Yeah. The venom tells Xaden he must turn in order to save Violet, and that if he fails to do so, he will wrap his hands around Violet's delicate little neck and kill her.
The venom also tells Xaden that he is not a sage. He is a general.
Whoa.
Xaden knows Violet is about to die to save his life, so he reaches beneath him and feels the flow of power. Sigil is pissed and says, "You cannot! I chose you!"
Yeah,
he has a British accent, apparently.
I'm your mother!
You cannot!
You will not!
It reminds me of...
disobey me!
That reminds me of Bridgerton. That fucking meme. What was it that they were saying?
Daphne! You must make haste!
Yeah. That's what I was channeling.
But Xaden says that Violet chose him too.
Dun, dun, dun.
He then jolts upright in bed, realizing that he was having a nightmare. I wish it was just an actual nightmare that he didn't actually turn. And Violet is sleeping next to him. Xaden slips out of their room and doesn't bother reaching out to Sigale. She's been quiet since the battle ended.
And Xaden slips past the guard unnoticed thanks to the increase in his signet on his way to see somebody.
That's interesting. Now that he's vetted, his signet is boosted.
Xaden threatens Jack Barlow to tell him the cure, or he will mummify him in the Riberstad chest that will hold him in midair.
Yeah, but like Violet already blew that to smithereens in Gordon.
True. Well, she striked it, but did it blow up?
Oh, I don't know.
Or did it just...
I just assumed it exploded, but I guess maybe not.
Yeah, I guess maybe not. Unless he has more than one.
Maybe.
Yeah. But Jack says there's no cure. You can never give back what you've taken. You will only hunger for more.
Xaden says he will never become one of them, but Jack says he already is one of them. He has been playing the hero, and now he will be the villain, especially in Violet's story. And he welcomes him to their messed up family. The end. Fuck!
Wait, that just blew my mind. Thank God we're doing a theories episode because that just fucking blew my mind. Holy shit. The end of Iron Flame. After final thoughts, we have a special treat for our listeners.
We are going to be doing a theories episode.
Yay! My favorite of all of our favorite theories and everything that we've seen on the internet that intrigued us as well. So
yes,
I have a few of my own theories. Yeah. That might be on the internet, but I haven't seen them because I haven't been on the internet in a couple weeks.
I think like all the time I'll be like, oh my God, what about this? And then like the next day, like I'll see something on the internet that someone's already said. So I think like a lot of theories are already out there, but we're just going to go over our favorite ones that we've seen and just ones we thought up on our own that someone probably already has said as well. And we'll have a special guest star.
Yes, our second guest. That's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on or on our social media pages. And also comment your favorite theories so we can include it in our episode.
Yes.
This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in.
Don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us. And we hope the rest of your day is blissful. And we want to wish you a Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next week where we start part 9 of Iron Flame by Rebecca Yaros, discussing our final thoughts. Happy reading.